Alrighty, folks. One of the things that we like to do on this channel is go back and forth with professionals who are actually doing this business. What we're going to do here is we're going to play a game that I call ping pong, where Dion, where Adrian and I go back and forth and ask him about what he's doing, what I'm doing. We're going to go back and forth 3 different times. So 6 things that we are doing to get ready to dominate 2025. Adrian, what is number 1?
I do like Dion.
Yeah.
Dion's a good guy. Let's put that out there. He's a good guy. I love it. First thing I'm doing, guys, is just getting really clear on what is it that made us, the company, the most amount of money this year. Getting very clear on what was that source. What was that? How did that come about? And how do we duplicate that again, along with some X's for next year?
Yeah. So the first thing that I'm doing is just a simple buy and hold guy is I'm getting even more focused on what I am looking for. And again, I'm creating a second buy box in Henderson, Nevada, right? Just call it Vegas for short. And it really does look like it's going to be a single family home value add. So it's a little bit wrecked or dated, but on the right lot. So I could add they call them casitas. You can call them ADUs in California, because it's tough to cash flow today. And in my chosen market, because I don't want to go out of state, I'm going to have to adopt a new strategy. And it all comes down to buying the right lot, not in an HOA environment. So for me, it's about even being more rigorous on what I'm looking to buy, because, you know, it's tough, man. It's tough to make cash flow in Vegas today. So I just keep looking for the right lot with the right condition and the right price point, and, you know, try to break even on the house and then cash flow with the casita. That looks like my strategy.
I love that. Very, very similar. But that was towards the end. Number 2, we're on number 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would be looking at the bottlenecks in each individual company and figuring out what those bottlenecks are. So for a bottleneck, what I call a bottleneck is where are we being squeezed, where we could have more potential, right? So if you're, let's say there's a funnel, right? And there's something stuck right here. What is being stuck in between the funnel? What is being stuck in that middle bottleneck area that is causing us not to progress in income, progress in transactions, progress in number of deal count for flips, number of buy and holds. So looking at tight bottlenecks, and then how do we unplug those?
Yeah, love that. The other thing I'm looking to do now, back in my traditional market of the Central Valley, is I'm just starting to reach out and network with commercial agents. One of the things that I see coming is a lot of pain in the Class B and Class C environment. The last time I did this, I probably knew 80% of the top 20 producers. Unlike residential, where there are thousands and thousands of agents, commercial is really, really run by the top 20, right? They probably control 70 to 80% of the inventory. And I've been very clear. I'm looking for the opportunity to sell houses in 1031 into multifamily, but only after the pain, right? I'm not going to catch a falling knife. I think there's a lot of bad deals in the Central Valley. In fact, I sold some of them, and I'm like, I can't believe you guys are paying these prices. Some of that stuff's going to come back on the market when the banks stop extending and pretending.
Right.
It could be late 25, but it might roll into 2026. But to your point, I've started to network and seek out agents. I've already found a couple that are the same, but a couple of guys I worked with last time have retired or left the market. And I need to go introduce myself to, another 10 or 15 people that don't know me. Hopefully they know one rental at a time. Hopefully I have a little bit of tailwind from our brand, but you can't count on that. Right.
Yep.
So I have some more work to do, more networking, more introductions, because I really want to take advantage of what I think is coming in the multifamily area.
So good. I love that. Another thing we're doing is taking a look at the overall. One thing that's really big for us is buy and holds this year. I think that we spent a lot of time in the transactional world. So it's really looking at the systems that need to take place to be able to take cash out automatically. I firmly believe that I can build some of these ADUs with the cash that we generate.
Yeah.
I think that I can reallocate it to some areas that aren't making money, but it's creating the system for it, creating an automatic debit inside of our accounts that every single time a check comes in, it's boom, it's sent over, right? Because
Right.
we know how we are. We say we're going to do it, right? And then
Yeah.
something comes up, whatever the case may be. So creating those systems, taking a look at each individual bucket, figuring out what needs to be set up, how do we need to set it up, and then the accountability, right? The accountability is huge. So I have Eddie holding me accountable. We closed on one, building, keeping the front house, building 6 units in the back. So it's just, it's exciting. It's exciting, but we need the systems for it. If not, you know, as that famous saying goes, people fail, but systems do not.
Yeah, I love that. I guess the last thing, you know, that I do, or I try to do, but again, for the audience, is you got to keep your head right. Right. You got to keep your mind right. This is something you and I talk about all the time. You're my mindset coach. You check me all the time, but you've got to stay in a positive mind, right? Real estate investing is always hard. Finding deals is always hard. You've got to skill up. You got to learn creative financing. You got to meet more people. I told you in step number 2, I've been doing this 20 some odd years. I have to go meet 10 or 15 new people. That's uncomfortable.
Right.
I really do believe that 25 and 26, if you keep your head right, you don't do anything stupid, could be monster wealth generation.
Huge.
You know, buying a big, like, for example, you and Eddie, it's not easy to find a house where it has the ability to build 6 units in the back. But when you find them and you could buy them right, it's money, it's wealth printing.
Yep.
So I want to both encourage and kick you in the ass to just know that 2020, just tell yourself the deal of a lifetime is going to happen in 2025. That's what I would tell you.
Yes. Freaking love that. Eddie said the same thing. He's like, just the deal of a lifetime. It's coming. Right.
Yes.
So let's put that out there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. Well, I know you've got a couple of more. Why don't you rattle off what else you are doing? Because I know you've got more. You're chomping at the bit. What else are you doing?
Yeah. Back to the mindset is the body. I think I really got comfortable. Saw Alex Layer at the Niner game. I went up to San Francisco and had a chance to go to the Niner game with Gino Bafari. And I saw Alex and he kicked me in the ass. Physically, right? He's like, dude, I've seen you way better. What are you doing? Not only that, I know what my vision is for my body next year. So a lot of it is creating the right disciplines for next year. I know health. Everybody always say health and fitness, but for me, I know I can do it. I've done it before. I've done it, hundreds of times. It's just time for me to get back to it. I've been a little comfortable. And I also know the body's in direct correlation to the mind. There's, been a little off lately. Why? Because this has been a little off.
I love that. That's actually my goal for 2025. People know that I've actually enlisted a doctor who's going to go on a year-long journey with me. We've done some blood work and scans. And I got to tell you, Omar, I don't know if you saw the video, but I am obese. I have 34.4% fat content on my body. Our goal is to get that under 18. So
I'm Adrian, not Omar or Dion, Zuber, but it's okay.
I got so disgusted by the fact that I was going to admit 30.4.4 that I screwed up. My bad.
No, you're totally fine. It's funny. The 34%. I think I'm right there with you. I think I'm close to 35. It's terrible. It's the worst I've ever been in my entire life. So you and I are obese,
Yes.
Not a beast, obese.
No, obese. The wrong vowel. Oh, I am only laughing because I am working hard every day to reverse that. But you gotta know where you are. You just gotta know where you are. Don't hide it.
No, you don't. And it's gonna hurt, but the cookies were good while they lasted. It's time to get them to work.
Yeah, for me it's ice cream. That damn vanilla bean ice cream.
So the other day, our babysitter brings, not the other day, for Thanksgiving, she brings a Portos. I don't know if you guys know what Portos is, like a famous bakery around here, but she brings a full-blown, I love coffee cake. And it was like a huge coffee cake. Well, when I saw it, I lost all self-control. It lasted maybe 9 hours. So yeah, back to it.
Well earned.
Too good.
Oh, this is crazy. Adrian, where can they find you?
At Adrian Hernandez, guys, Instagram. Appreciate you, Zuber. Happy
You got it,
holidays
man.
to all of you.
I apologize for my brain cramps today.
Hey, you're good. I get them all the time. You go back and watch some of the videos we've done. Go back.